Recording in progress.
Morning, all of you, Harry.
You can start the 15th question paper. I have added only 2 questions here because we have the homework question and also last week's third question, right? So we have to discuss all together 4 questions. You can start this one. I will share this in your group as well now. Okay, Upeksha. Yes, finished. Have you finished the first one? නැති නේද? Yes, once you finish this, we will start the discussion. You all have to turn on the videos. So shall we discuss? Turn on your videos. Because we have 2 more questions from last week. 1 question from last week's paper and 1 homework question. Did you do the homework question? Hands up those who did. Yes. No one? Okay, only 10 of you have done. I told you I will share in the group. Every week you will receive such a homework question. You all have to do and join. Hari. A group of students going on a field trip found an animal. Yes, turn on the videos. With the following characteristics, has an endoskeleton in the body, has jointed limbs, the body is segmented, and those segments have joined to form tagmata. Hari. The exoskeleton, jointed appendages, and the appendages get together to form tagma. So, you can get an idea. Name the following taxa to which the animal belongs. Yes, what is the domain? Okay, Muri. So, what is the domain?
Domain Eukarya.
Domain Eukarya. And the kingdom? Yes, Kian.
Kingdom.
Kingdom Animalia. And phylum? Arthropoda. Once you hear the term jointed appendages, you know that it is an arthropod, right? Domain Eukarya, kingdom Animalia, phylum Arthropoda. So you will get 1 mark for each. Then 2 part A, what is the invertebrate phylum which shows closest relationship to phylum Chordata? So what is it? Yes, that is how the Echinodermata, right? Echinodermata, closest relationships with phylum Chordata, that is Echinodermata. 1 mark. Then state the following characteristics of the... Yes.
Teacher, what is mean by phylum Chordata?
So in the hierarchy of classification, actually, we just divide them into domains, kingdoms, then different phyla. So actually, the 5 vertebrate groups, then api kiyanne class Piscus, class Amphibia. These are classes, right? Class Reptilia, class Apes, and class Mammalia. Right? These are 5 classes. So these 5 vertebrate classes belong to phylum Chordata, right? That is in the hierarchy of classification. We call it as phylum Chordata. Okay.
Okay, teacher, thank you.
So following characteristics of the animals of that phylum: living environment, the living environment, symmetry, and method of locomotion of the animals of that phylum. Invertebrate phylum, that is Echinodermata. What can you say about the living environment, the habitat? All of them live in the sea, right? Marine. There are certain maybe brackish water ones as well. So you have to say aquatic, sea water, living environment, sea water, because once we say aquatic, fresh water also is there, no? Either aquatic, you have fresh water, brackish water, marine water, all are included, but the echinodermates are exclusively found in the sea. Therefore, sea water is the living environment or marine habitats. Then symmetry. What type of symmetry do they have? Yes. Then මේ කතා කරන්න උත්තර දෙන්න videos on කරන්න කිව්වට only 5 of you are visible. පස් දෙනයි පේන්නේ ඉන්නේ. I think every day I'm telling no, you have to be visible, you have to give the answers, you have to ask questions, right? නැත්නම් ඉතින් මට පේන්නේ නැහැ මොකද කරන්නේ නිින්ද ගිහිල්ලාද දන්නේ නැහැ වැස්ස සීතලයි උදේ පාන්දර නේද ඉදිද දන්නෙත් නැහනේ. So please turn on your video and give me the answers, right? Now we have reached close to the end of month of May. මාසෙ ඉවර වෙවි යනවා, right? Then you will reach the month of December as well. ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ වැඩ කරන හැම විනාඩියක්ම make the maximum use out of it. හරිද? Do your work in the maximum efficiency. ගොඩාක් වෙලා කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. කරන වෙලාවේ හරියට ඒ දේ කරන්න. හරිද? Turn on your videos, give me the answers, and if you have any problem you can ask. හරි. Yes, the symmetry is pentaradial symmetry. Pentaradial symmetry, and what is the method of locomotion? That is by making use of tube feet, right? Tube feet. So got a living environment, symmetry, method of locomotion, 1 mark for each. Of vertebrates, what are the classes to which cold-blooded animals belong? Yes. Not 5 radial arms, Zahara. 5 radial arms, for locomotion, they are using the tube feet, right? On the back side of their these arms, they have these tube feet. So they make use of tube feet for their locomotion. So cold-blooded animals belong to, what are the classes? Class Piscus, Amphibia and Reptilia, right? Piscus, Amphibia and Reptilia. 1 mark for each, 3 marks. Lazy. Then lazy you have to remember the classification of organisms. The focal length of a convex lens is 15 centimeters. The lens is mounted on a stand like this. Then stand kept on the laboratory table at a distance of 20 centimeters. A lighted candle is placed in front of it. Hari. Then indicate by a ray diagram how the image of the candle flame is formed. Now this is a convex lens. Focal length is given, that is 15 centimeters. So if you draw the ray diagram, කොහොමද වෙන්නේ? So you have to mark the focal length, that is 15 centimeters. So you can draw this according to a scale. Nathang, F2, F or F dash is 30 centimeters. So F dash or 2F, right? Then the object distance is 20 centimeters, means it is kept in between F and 2F. That is what you have to mark. This is kept in between F and 2F. This is the object, right? Then you can complete the light rays. A ray which is traveling parallel to the principal axis will be refracted through F, right? Then you can consider a ray of light which travels through the optical center, something like this. So actually, the image should be formed beyond F dash. I will draw it once again. The image should be formed beyond 2F. When the object is in between F and 2F, the image should be formed beyond So you have to measure the two distances as the same and take another similar distance here. So it should be f dash O to f. Then this is the object, right? And the ray which is traveling parallel to the principal axis will be refracted through f, right? And put the arrowheads, and a ray which is traveling through the optical center that should travel along the same pathway. It should be formed beyond 2f. So I will just adjust this one since I didn't measure the distances. So you have to exactly measure the distance and take. So this is f dash. So we can show that the image is formed somewhere here. And this is the way that you have to obtain. For any two correct light rays, you will get 2 marks. And for the construction of the image, you will get another 1 mark. Any two correct light rays, you will get 2 marks along with the arrowheads, right? For locating the image beyond f dash, you will get another 1 mark. Altogether 3 marks for the ray diagram. Arrowheads එහෙම දාන්න මතක් කරලා. Then that is 1A. Mention 3 characteristics of the image. Manada, it is a real image, right? Real image, inverted, and it is magnified. It is larger than the object, right? So inverted, real, magnified. And you can say it is formed beyond f dash or 2f. Is formed beyond f dash or 2f. So for the 3 characteristics, you get 3 marks. For the ray diagram also, you get 3 marks. Mention an equipment which makes use of such an image. What is the instance in which we make use of that type of an image? Inverted, real, magnified image. Yes. What did you say? Inverted, real, magnified image. No. For side mirrors, we don't use lenses, side mirror. So we are using a convex mirror there, not a lens. Here, this is a lens. Yes. Oh, and then a real image. Mention an equipment which makes use of such an image, such a lens. Such a lens. We can say the hand lens or the simple microscope. There we get an enlarged upright image, but it is virtual, right? In the case of hand lens, the real image we can make use of something like this in the case of the slide projector, right? Slide projector එකේ ගන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි මේක මේ in the marking scheme they say give marks for any other suitable answer. We haven't discussed about the optical instruments, right? In the calling syllabus again, we had to discuss about the optical instruments. What is the theory behind in the simple microscope, compound microscope, in this slide projector, prismatic binocular. We had to discuss. Right, but in your syllabus, we are not supposed to discuss the theory behind the optical instruments. Any suitable answer marks දෙන්න කියලා කිව්වා. එතකොට you can say the exact answer is the slide projector, right? Slide projector or the overhead projector. එහෙම නැත්නම් ඉතින් මේකේ lens එක use කරලා such an image කියන එක නැතුව the uses of the lens වලටත් marks දුන්නා. So you can get marks according to your answer, right? Then consider an instance in which this lens is used as a hand lens to observe a small insect. In which this lens is used to observe a small insect. Here, at what distance range should the insect be placed? We have to make use of the simple microscope to get a virtual enlarged image of the insect. So we have to keep the object in between. The object should be in between the lens and the focus. Again, focal length 15 centimeters. So 15 less than 15 centimeters from the lens. Up to 15 centimeters from the lens. Right? In a distance less than the focal length. You can say like that. In a distance less than the focal length, or up to 15 centimeters from the lens. Something like that. In between the lens and the focal point කියන idea එක තියෙන්න ඕනේ. 1 mark for that. For this one also 1 mark, right? For the optical instrument. ඊළඟට කියනවා, can the image of the insect that is observed be obtained on a screen? Yes, is it a real image? නෑ නේද? It's a virtual image. Can be whether it can be taken onto a screen? No. 1 mark. Give the reason for your answer. මොකද හේතුව? Because it is a virtual image, right? The light rays do not really meet each other in order to form the image, because it is a virtual image. It is a virtual image, you will get 1 mark, right? It's a virtual image. 1 mark. So you can put marks out of 20. Marks දාන්න බලන්න out of 20. හරි. Yes, 20 out of 20. නැද්ද? One of you. Tisas, okay, very good. Then 19. Hamashi. Very good. Then 18. Sorry, 18 ang around 5 of you. Okay, good. Then 17. 2 of you. 3. Okay, finally 16. Once again 2. Harry. Okay. Then මම කිව්ව විදිහට කරන්න, you have to follow the method that I mentioned. You have to note down the topics that you have forgotten. So then you have to revise them and mark on the checklist, right? ඒක අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම කරන්න every week. Hari, the mouth of the funnel. This is a question from part A, right? So it says the mouth of the funnel shown in figure 1 is fully closed by a tightly stretched sheet of rubber. The other end of the funnel is connected to one arm of a U-tube partly filled with colored water. Okay. By a rubber tube. තේරුණාද මොකක්ද ඒ කියන්නේ කියලා? So the mouth of the funnel is fully closed by a tightly stretched sheet of rubber. This is the funnel, right? So here it is closed. And the other end of the funnel is connected to one arm of the U-tube. So this is the U-tube, U-shaped tube. So these two are connected by a rubber tube, right? The U-tube is partly filled with colored water. Hari, in this situation shown in the figure 1, how will the water level in the arms of the U-tube change when the finger is placed on the top of the rubber sheet and pressed slightly? You apply a pressure. Yes, what happens? When you apply a pressure on this rubber membrane, you press the rubber membrane. That pressure is transmitted through this rubber tube. Then the liquid level in arm X will go down. Right? X goes down and Y moves up. Right? එහෙම තමයි කියන්න ඕනේ. මොකද අහන්නේ how will the water level in the arms of the U-tube change? So arm X goes down and arm Y goes up. 1 mark for each. ඊළඟට අහන explain the reason for the observation. එතකොට මොකක්ද අපි කරන්නේ? By pressurizing the finger, we increase the pressure inside the rubber tube. නේ? We increase the pressure. We increase the pressure inside the rubber tube. නැත්නම් we increase the pressure in the air, in the rubber tube. Increase the pressure කියන idea එක තියෙනවා නම් 1 mark. Increase the pressure. And I think the next part is also associated with this. In the above setup, water levels in the U-tube remain unchanged though the mouth of the funnel is turned various sides in air. So you turn since this is connected by a rubber tube, you can turn it into different directions. The funnel, right? Though we turn it to different directions, they have observed that the water level does not change. Why? What is the reason? Kian Balan. Yes. What is the reason? So which yes.
Water is not dipped into water.
Hari. So this is in air. So once you change the direction of the funnel, the liquid level does not change, they say. Now once we apply a force on the rubber membrane, then the liquid level changed. But when we rotate the funnel, the liquid level does not change. Muri says any pressure didn't come from the water. Nah. Anyway, now don't think of water. Then we mentioned once you apply a pressure on this rubber membrane, that pressure is exerted on air as well. Therefore, the liquid level in arm X dropped and in arm Y it increased. But now, in the next instance, they say that they don't apply any pressure. They just rotate this funnel to different directions. Then you will rotate it like this, right, or this way. But whatever you do, the direction, the liquid level in the U-tube does not change. I have received an answer. Any pressure didn't come water කියන එක නෙවෙයි. Pressure created by the compressed air. Still it is not the answer. Then make it මොකක්ද වෙන්නේ? The rubber membrane, rubber sheet is in air. එතකොට once you rotate it, why doesn't the liquid level change? Then when we pressurize, that is the liquid level is changed. එතකොට though you rotate, yes, Induni says the atmospheric pressure does not change. Shenela says the atmospheric pressure is equal. Yes, that is the answer. Atmospheric pressure does not change. The atmospheric pressure remains constant. Though you change this on the rubber membrane, the same atmospheric pressure is exerted. direction එක විතරයි වෙනස් කරනවා කියන්නේ. Right? The atmospheric pressure remains constant. The atmospheric pressure does not change. And
Teacher?
that is the answer. Yes.
Teacher, can you hear me?
Yes, Tamashi.
Teacher, that compressed air was for the previous question. Is that correct? The pressure created by the compressed air.
For part 2,
Yeah,
the pressure created by the
compressed air.
compressed air. Okay, it's okay because a pressure was applied on air. That is why the liquid level changed. That's okay.
Thank you, teacher.
So we also mentioned something similar to that, ne? We mentioned that increase in the pressure. So compressed air. Compressed means we have applied a pressure on air. Okay, that's correct. මෙතන කියන්න ඕනේ the liquid pressure remains liquid pressure නෙමෙයි, atmospheric pressure does not change, right? How will the water levels in the arms of the U-tube change when the funnel with the rubber sheet is dipped in water? Now it is dipped in water, as shown in figure 2, and move towards the bottom of the container gradually. Hari. එතකොට මොකද වෙන්නේ? Now it is the rubber membrane is dipped in water and it is moved towards the bottom. එතකොට the liquid pressure is exerted on the rubber sheet. So that liquid pressure is transmitted along the air. එහෙනම් මොකද වෙන්නේ? The liquid level in X goes down and in Y it goes up. And that is what you have to say. එතකොට X මොකද කියන්න ඕනේ? Goes down, the liquid level goes down. Liquid level කියලා අහනවනේ, නිසා අපි I liquid level කියන්න ඕනේ. Arm X goes down, arm Y goes up. Right? 1 mark for each. Okay, when this is immersed and when it is taken towards the bottom, you know, when the depth increases, the liquid pressure rises. Right? State the conclusion that can be drawn according to the observation in 4 above. Making ගන්න පුළුවන් conclusion එක මොකක්ද? What did you say? Yes.
The movement of water can be seen.
The movement of
Water, the increase of water can be seen in Y.
No, increase in water නෙවෙයි. No. It's not the answer. Then when it is at this level, we'll say the liquid level is somewhere here. When it is at level 1, it would be somewhere here, right? When it is immersed up to this level 2, then the liquid level may be somewhere here. And මෙහෙම වෙනස් වෙයි. So what happens when the depth increases? When the depth increases, the liquid pressure also increases, right? When the depth increases, the pressure exerted by the liquid on the rubber sheet is also increased. When the depth increases, the liquid pressure rises. ඒකයි reason එක. අපි පහළට ගෙනියන්න the liquid pressure exerted on the rubber sheet is increased. That is transmitted through air to the liquid in the U-tube. එකයි වෙන්නේ මෙතනට exert කරන pressure එක. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි question එක පටන් ගත්තේ we pressurize the rubber membrane with the finger කියලා. එතකොට whatever we do on the rubber membrane is transmitted to the liquid in the U-tube. Now you have to say the liquid pressure rises when the depth increases. 1 mark for that. නෑ ඉන්න බලන්න ඒකට marks දුන්නා. 2 marks. 2 marks දීලා තියෙනවා. The liquid pressure increases when the depth increases. 2 marks. In place of water, an equal volume of coconut oil is added to the container with the funnel in figure 2. When the funnel is held close to the bottom of the container in the presence of which liquid can a greater difference between the liquid levels of U-tube be observed? What did you say? Again, in the first instance, in one instance, there had been water, right? So, we mentioned that once we take it down, once we take the funnel down, the liquid level in X drops and it rises in Y. The difference in between the liquid levels in U-tube will be changed. And the local change එකක් Hari, then if we have put coconut oil into this and take this down, in which instance will you observe the greater difference in the liquid level in the U-tube? What did you say? Is it water or coconut oil? Okay, Miyuri says coconut oil. What about the others? Tamashi says water. Sara says water. Oh, I mean, liquid pressure equals H rho G. Then they came එකම level එකට අරන් ආවා කියලා හිතන්න. In water you took it up to this level. In coconut oil also you took it up to this level. So the height or the depth is the same. G is the same, but the density differs. Right? Density of coconut oil is less than water because coconut oil floats on water. නේද? එහෙනම් මොකද වෙන්නේ? When the density reduces, the pressure also is reduced. Pressure is also reduced when it is in coconut oil. ඒ නිසා මෙයා පහළ යන්නේ අඩුවෙන්. This will go up lesser than in the first instance in which we had put water. හරිද? එහෙනම් greater difference between the liquid levels in the U-tube, that is water, because the density affects the liquid pressure. Is the answer for 5 කියලා අහනවා. මම කිව්වේ නැද්ද? කිව්වා නේද? Conclusion that can be drawn to the observation in 4 above, we mentioned that yes, liquid pressure increases with the increasing depth. When the depth increases, liquid pressure rises. For part 5. Here it is for water. හරි නේද? You have any doubt, you can ask. The figure is the graphical representation of a water wave traveling on a water surface. As regards, this is a water wave. For x-axis, distance from the starting point of the wave, and this is the displacement. We have drawn this as the graphical illustration for any type of a wave. For longitudinal waves as well as transverse waves. In a transverse wave, the wave form is also similar to this. As regards the direction in which the water particles vibrate, name the type of waves to which this wave belongs. This is a transverse wave. 1 mark. ඊට පස්සේ මොකද කියන්නේ? Mark and label the above in the above figure the wavelength and the amplitude of the wave represented by the graph. Amplitude, as the amplitude you can mark this height or this one and say that it is the amplitude. මෙතනින් ලියන්න amplitude කියලා. හරිද? Amplitude. මෙතනත් if you have marked this one, you can say that it is the amplitude. Right? ඊට පස්සේ as the wavelength, so you can, it is the distance in between two similar consecutive points. So if you have considered this this point, so this is the wavelength. Lambda කියලා දාලා පැත්තෙන් ලියන්න පුළුවන්. Lambda is the wavelength කියලා. Right? එහෙම නැත්තම් මෙතන ගන්න විදියක් නැහැ. This wave is not completed. If you have selected this point, you have to mark this point and say that this distance is the wavelength. හරිද? the distance in between two consecutive crests or troughs. The distance in between any 2 points. 2 consecutive points. Any 2 points. 2 consecutive points. Piliveling. 2 consecutive points which are having the same type of motion. හරිද? එතකොට ඒකට marks දුන්නා 1 mark for each. Transverse waves කිව්වට කලින් 1 mark. මෙතෙන්ට 1 mark. Here for amplitude 1 mark. Wavelength 1 mark. හරි. ඊට පස්සේ මොකද කියන්නේ? Mark and label in the above figure the wavelength. ඒක කළානේ when a light piece of styrofoam was placed on the water surface along which the wave travels, it was observed that it moves up and down. Right? What is the reason for this observation? Yes. So you mentioned that these are transverse waves. So why did the styrofoam particles moved up and down? Yes.
As it moves in a direction perpendicular to the direction the particles of the medium move.
Could you please repeat?
As it moves in a direction perpendicular to the direction the particles of the medium.
You have to say what did you mean by it? It කිව්වහම that's why I asked you to repeat. We are talking about the piece of the styrofoam. Right? You have to say the particles vibrate in a direction perpendicular to the direction of the wave propagation. Right? The particles in the medium. Now, if this is the direction of the wave propagation, the particles in the medium vibrate perpendicular to that. That is what you have to say. So, I think in your answer, you have used the term it. Not for the piece of rigiform, but for the wave, I think. So you have to clearly say that the particles in the medium vibrate perpendicular to the direction of wave propagation. Right? Particles vibrate in a direction perpendicular to the direction of wave propagation. This is the direction of the wave and this is the direction of vibration of particles. So if you have written like that, you will get 2 marks for that. 2 marks. Particles vibrate in a direction perpendicular to the direction of the wave propagation. 2 marks. එතකොට ඒවා 2 1 or 2 කියලා දෙන්න 2 or 0 එහෙමයි marks දෙන්නේ, right? එතකොට you will get 2 marks for that, altogether 15. දාන්න බලන්න marks. Then we'll move on to the homework question as well as the last week third question. නේද අපි මේක ඩිස්කස් කළේ නෑනේ ගිය සතියේ. විනාඩියක break එකක් දෙන්නම්. We have to discuss the homework question and this one. විනාඩියක් අරගෙන Hari. So we'll move on to the third question. Avane, turn on your videos. Yes. Oh. Steam distillation, simple distillation and fractional distillation are three distillation methods that can be used to separate the components of mixtures. Three sets of apparatus P, Q and R assemble to effect distillation by each of those methods are illustrated below, not in the respective order. Right below the relevant figures, the methods of distillation employing the setups P, Q and R. Hari. So the P is N. Yes. P is for the simplest setup. So that is simple distillation, right? This is simple distillation. And what is this? Yes. Distillation column is there. Fractionating column. So that is fractional distillation. Q is fractional distillation. Then here you can see steam is sent to the mixture. So that is steam distillation, right? Simple, fractional, steam. 1 mark for each. Name the equipment labeled as X. That is the, yes?
Liebig condenser.
Liebig condenser. 1 mark. Of the above methods, write the most suitable distillation method for each of the following separations on the dotted line opposite each. Most suitable distillation method. Separation of components of a liquid hydrocarbon mixture. So what is it?
Fractional distillation.
That is
Q.
fractional distillation, because a mixture of hydrocarbons means they have different volatilities, right? Their boiling points are different. So based on the difference in the boiling point, we can separate by means of fractional distillation. For A, that is fractional distillation. B, extraction of cinnamon oil from cinnamon leaves. Extraction of essential oil. So these essential oils, these organic substances are sensitive to water. So we have to extract them at a temperature below 100 degrees Celsius. So as the theory you learned, the substances get separated at a temperature below 100 degrees Celsius, because when water is mixed with another immiscible substance, the boiling temperature drops than 100 degrees Celsius. The essential oils are immiscible with water. Therefore, the boiling temperature drops than 100 degrees Celsius. That is the theory behind. So it is, for part B, you have to say that it is steam distillation. Then obtaining salt-free pure water from seawater, there is only one volatile component. So you can separate the component by means of simple distillation. For part C, that is simple distillation. එතකොට ඒක කියන ගමන් හිතලා බලන්න මට මේකේ theory එක මතකද කියලා. If you can't, just go to your notes and revise the theory behind each extraction method. Not extraction method, the separation technique. Hari. The figure indicates the positions occupied by the elements beryllium, oxygen, chlorine, potassium and calcium in the periodic table. From the elements given, write the symbol of the element that shows each of the following property. A colored gas existing as a diatomic molecule, that is O2, Cl2, then namina. But what is the colored gas out of them? That is Cl2, right? Light green, chlorine. Example, you have to say chlorine, Cl. Then highest in electronegativity. How the?
Chlorine.
මේ මතකද according to Pauling scale මම හැමදාම කියනවා මේ ටික මතක තියාගන්න කියලා. Fluorine and then oxygen, that is 3.5, nitrogen and chlorine having the electronegativity 3. ඔන්න ඔය හතර මතක තියාගන්න කියලා තියෙනවා. The highest for fluorine, then oxygen, then nitrogen and chlorine. එහෙනම් out of the given, the highest electronegativity is there for oxygen, right? Hari has the lowest first ionization energy. කාටද? The lowest first ionization energy is there in group. කියන්න. Group 1. The lowest first ionization energy is there for group 1 elements. Again, when we are going down in a group, the first ionization energy further reduces because the number of energy levels increases and it is easy to remove an electron from the valence shell. එක මතක් කරගන්න, lowest first ionization energy is there in group 1 elements, and in group 1 also when we are going from top to bottom, the number of energy levels rises. As a result, the first ionization energy further reduces. Now lowest first ionization energy is there for potassium. 1 mark for each. Hari. Then state whether the compounds formed by the combination of following elements are ionic or covalent. Calcium and chlorine. Yes. Calcium chloride will be formed. What is it? Oh, කියන්න. ඒ කියන්න නැත්තේ. Calcium forms calcium 2 plus ions. Chlorine forms chloride ions. So, what is the formula of calcium chloride? Hello. Yes. Kian, Janindi, what is the formula of calcium chloride?
CaCl4.
CaCl?
2.
CaCl2. Right, CaCl2. එතකොට මොකද වෙන්නේ? 1 calcium ion and 2 chloride ions on either side. They are attracted by electrostatic interactions. එහෙනම් this is another ionic. හරිද? ඊළඟට chlorine and oxygen. Chlorine and oxygen. What type of a bond would be there? Yes. Chlorine needs 2 electrons. Then I'm in need of electrons. No, sorry, chlorine atom needs only 1 electron to complete its electron octet. And oxygen needs 2 electrons. Both are in need. එතකොට මොකද කරන්නේ? කාටවත් දෙන්න විදිහක් නැහැ. Right? Then they just discuss and keep the electrons in common. They share the electrons. එහෙනම් that is a covalent bond. එමයි decide කරන්න. දැන් මෙතන they make ions. Calcium can remove electrons and chlorine can obtain electrons. So they make ions. The electrostatic attractions in between oppositely charged ions, that is an ionic bond. If both are in need of electrons, then they will share the electrons. Then that is a covalent bond. 1 mark for each. So 1 mark for each. Hari. Beryllium chloride formed by the combination of beryllium and chlorine is a covalent compound. Hari. In the box given, draw the dot and cross structure of beryllium chloride molecule. Hari. කොහොමද අඳින්නේ beryllium chloride? Yes. Beryllium chloride. How to draw? Now beryllium in a mono group එකේද? Yes. Hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium. That is 4. Can a 2, 2. It has 2 electrons in the outermost energy level. අපිට කියන්නේ මොකක්ද අඳින්න කියලා dot cross. එතකොට if I use crosses for the electrons of beryllium, I have to use dots for chlorine. හරිද? So chlorine has 7 valence electrons. I have drawn 1. Then rest of the 3 pairs, 3 lone pairs. Something like this. අනේකට marks තියෙනවා 1 mark. 1 mark. ඊළඟට calcium oxide formed by the combination of calcium and oxygen is an ionic compound. Indicate in the figure the charge of the calcium ion. Calcium මොකද charge එක? Yes? මෙතන 2 minus තියෙන oxygen. So calcium that is 2882. So once it removes calcium 2882, once it removes those 2 electrons, it completes the stable electronic, it obtains the stable electronic configuration. Again, by removing 2 electrons, it forms a positive ion. The charge is 2 plus. Right? 2 plus hari plus 2 hari කියලා ලියලා තියෙනවා. You will get 1 mark. All the electrons in the outermost shell of the oxide ion in indicate the figure. All the electrons in the outermost shell of the oxide ion in calcium oxide. So the electrons in the outermost energy level. So මෙතන calcium ගෙනම් completed නේද? මේ 2 8 8 ඔක්කොම තියෙනවා calcium. oxygen වල අඩුයි. So oxygen is 2 6. But when it forms 2 minus ion, it has obtained another 2 electrons and reached the electronic configuration 2 8 now. So I have to indicate the 8 electrons of oxygen like this. Then you will get another 1 mark for that. Hari ned, ivarai ned the questions etani. Yes, I did put marks out of 15, right? Among අවුරුදු ටික කිව්වේ නෑනේ නේ. In the previous paper and this one. Hari, in paper 14, in question paper 14 we did first question 2019 7A and 8B combined කරලා දුන්නේ. The second question 2021 fifth question. Third one 2023 third question. And that is 14. Again මේක තමයි 2023 third question. අද කරපු paper 15 වල first question 2024 8th question. Second one 2023 fourth question. And then you also can mark them down. So hands up those who got 15 for this one. 15 out of 15. Only one. Penela. Okay, very good. Then 14. 3, 4. Right, good. 13. Okay, good. 5. Then 12. Finally. 2. හරි. ඊට වඩා අඩු වුණා නම් බලන්න කරලා නැත්නම් ඊටත් වඩා බලන්න. ඒ කලේ නැත්තේ කියලා. Because you have to do the work. Homework question එකත් අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම කරලා තියෙන්න ඕනේ. දැන් මේ සතියේත් හම්බ වෙනවා. ඒ නිසා you have to check in the group. Right? We'll move on to the homework question then. That is not from an O-level paper. Hari. So here this is something related to, first part is something related to electricity, the resistance. Following activity is used to identify the factors affecting resistance, right? So here it says, the first one, the same diagram from the textbook. Number 1, nichrome wire with the largest area of cross section. Nichrome with the largest area of cross section. Now we'll underline the important terms. Number 1, nichrome, largest area of cross section. Then number 2, nichrome with the medium cross sectional area. Number 3, nichrome wire with the smallest cross sectional area. 4, thin copper wire, thin copper. 5, thin iron wire. 6 and 7, iron wires with unequal lengths. Unequal lengths. So here we are going to compare the 3 factors affecting the resistance, right, of a conductor. Cross sections 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 are equal. 3, 4, 5 and 6 and 7. What the area of cross section is the same. Material composition is one of the factors tested. Material composition. Hari. එතකොට අපි මතක් කරගත්තොත් the resistance depends on 3 factors. මොනවාද? The length of the conductor. Right? When the length increases, what happens to resistance? Yes, Kian, Kenuli, Muri. There is Zoom user. Please rename yourself. Yes. When the length increases, what happens to the resistance? No? Resistance is the obstacle for the flow of electric current.
Decrease.
Yes, Tisas.
Decreases.
Length increases. Zara says that is, the resistance increases. Oh, when the length increases, the resistance also increases, right? When the length increases, resistance increases. Eka mataka tiyaganna විදිහක් අපි theory කතා කරද්දී කිව්වේ after school ඔයා යන විදිහ ගැන නේද? You are going home after school. If you have to travel a long distance, the obstacle is more, right? Then the resistance is more. ඊට පස්සේ the area of cross section. The area of cross section. After school, when you are coming out of the class politely, slowly, there is a very narrow passage to pass. All the grade 11 students have to travel along a narrow passage until you go to the gate. If it is narrow, the obstacle is more. Chance the obstacle is more when it is narrow. When the area of cross section is less, the area of cross section you should not say area. Area we can say the surface area. Surface area area of cross section we have to consider. When the area of cross section reduces, the resistance increases. Ilangata material medium of the conductor. Material medium of the conductor. So එතකොට එක හරියට the mode of transportation that you use වගේ තමයි. එතකොට material medium of the conductor, something like copper, high conductivity, low resistivity, right? Then when it comes to something like nichrome, high resistivity, less conductivity. And එහෙමයි අපි මතක තියාගත්ත we compared copper, iron and nichrome. So iron is in between. Hari, state the other two factors affecting the resistance of a conductor. එහෙනම් other two factors, length of the conductor as well as the area of cross section of the conductor. Right? Length of the conductor and the area of cross section. Yes, Zahra.
So, can we write the thickness of conductor instead of writing the area of cross section?
No, don't say thickness. You have to say area of cross section. That is the scientific term. Thickness කියලා කියන්නේ නෑ සාමාන්‍යයෙන්. Area of cross section of the conductor. Why should we take a risk නේද? If that thickness word is not included in the marking scheme, so you'd better use the term area of cross section. State the numbers of wires can be used to examine that the material composition affects for the resistance. Hari, එහෙනම් if we are comparing the material composition, all the other factors should be the same. Again, length and the area of cross section should be similar. The material should be different. එතකොට අපිට කියවනේ මේ තුන් දෙනා these instances they have the same area of cross section කියලා. එතකොට මෙතන they have used nichrome, smallest cross sectional area. එතකොට ඒ cross sectional area එකටම similar these four. එතකොට nichrome, the third instance, ඊළඟට copper, iron. ඊළඟට මෙතන iron wires with unequal lengths. Now what are the numbers you have to mention? 3, 4 and 5 neda. That is, these are the instances in which we measure, we learn about, we test the effect of the material medium of the conductor. Same length, same area of cross section. 3, 4, 5. Harine? What factor is tested using 1, 2 and 3? 1, 2 and 3. All three nichrome. But the area of cross section is different. The effect of area of cross section. 1, 2 and 3. The effect of area of cross section. Then out of 5, 6 and 7, which one is given lowest brightness of the bulb? Lowest brightness kyanne? Highest or lowest resistance?
Highest resistance.
Highest resistance. Lowest brightness, lowest flow of current. ඒ කියන්නේ highest resistance. එතකොට අපෙන් අහන්නේ 5, 6 and 7 වලින්. Iron wires with unequal lengths. එතකොට area of cross section is the same. Only the material is the same, but the length is different. එතකොට 5, 6 and 7 we can see 5 has the highest length. එහෙනම් highest resistance is therefore, yes, Yanna. Yes, Janindi. That is number 5. Highest resistance is therefore number 5. සමහර අයගේ කටහඬවල් අහලත් නැහැ, අහන්න ආසයි. Yes, unmute and give the answer. Which one is the voltmeter out of P and Q? හරි නේද? ඒක නේද ඊළඟ part එක number 5. Which one is the voltmeter out of P and Q? Yes, what is it? That is
Q.
Q. That is Q, because you can see Q is connected parallel to the bulb. All the others are connected in series along the same pathway, but Q in a different path parallel to the bulb. Therefore, voltmeter is Q. P is the ammeter. Reading of P is 1 and Q is 1 when X is connected to the first wire. What is the current passing through the bulb? The current and the voltage is equal to 1. So, what is the current? What is the current passing through the bulb? So, the current is 1 ampere. නේද? ammeter reading එක 1 කියන්නේ current passing through the bulb is 1 ampere. Calculate the resistance. එතකොට V equals IR, R equals V over I, right? එතකොට 1 over 1, that is 1 ohm. So you have to write the equation, substitute and get the answer to get these 2 marks. හරිනේ? ඔන්න Ohm's law මතක නැත්තම් මොකද Ohm කිව්වේ? What did Ohm say? Yes. කියන්න බලන්න. Yes, yes. So the last part is associated with Ohm's law. මොකද තෙසිනි Ohm කිව්වේ? මගෙන් ආන්නේ නේද? Yes. Is there any
Teacher?
volunteer? Yes, yes.
Can I tell?
Yes, Himansa.
When the temperature of a conductor remains constant, the current passing through the conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference across it.
Okay. When the temperature is kept constant, temperature of the conductor is kept constant, the current passing through the conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference across it. And that is what is mentioned in the Ohm's law. That is how we derive the equation V equals IR. Right? And the setup we use to prove Ohm's law. මතක් කරගන්න chance එකක් තියෙනවා. Then, following setup is prepared by a group of students to demonstrate energy transmission through a liquid. Put a tick in front of the application of above theory. Yes, the transmission of liquid pressure. Hydraulic jack, Harida. Yes. Is it true?
Yes.
Yes, hydraulic jack. Hydropower generation. Do we use transmission of liquid pressure? No. That is a different theory. Hydraulic brake system? Yes, transmission of liquid pressure. We have discussed about the brake system. What can you say about the work done by piston A and piston B? What can you say about the work done by piston A? So, work done කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? Force into displacement නේද? F into D, work done. එතකොට less force is exerted on A and A moves a less distance, and A moves a greater distance, right? A moves a greater distance here. This moves a greater distance. So actually, since a less force is exerted, then the difference in the displacement is very low, no? Right? But the force difference is very high. Force input, force output. Input force is very low. Hence, work done on A, work done by piston A is lesser than the work done by piston B. Work done by the piston B is greater than the work done by piston A. Right? B is greater. State 2 reasons to not to use water as a transmission liquid in machineries. ඇයි අපි වතුර දාන්නේ නැත්තේ? Yes.
Rusting of metals can take place.
Rusting of metals can take place. Rusting of iron actually.
Poor
May cause
lubricating ability of water.
Yes, poor lubricating ability of water. And water has a higher density than that of this lubricating oil. When we take oil, the oil has a less density than water. Right? Therefore, also water is not used as the transmission liquid. Because the pressure transmission, liquid pressure is transmitted. Higher compressibility වෙන්නේ කාටද උපේක්ෂා? For water or for the oil? Higher compressibility. Yes.
Water.
Higher compressibility, he says. Yes, correct. Density, compressibility ඊට පස්සේ lubricating ability ඊළඟට තව answer එකක් කිව්වා වැරදි කියන්න බෑ. Rusting of iron parts, most of the machine parts are made of iron, so rusting. And lubricating ability, oil is used as a lubricant, so the wearing off of the machine parts is reduced, right? For the transmission of liquid pressure මෙතන කතා කරන්නේ. එතකොට mainly that is due to the density, right? Density. හරි එච්චරයි නේද අහන්නේ? Yes. On this week also you will receive a question for homework. එතකොට ඊළඟ දවසේ ඒකත් කතා කරලා we will move on to the 16th question paper based on O level past papers, right? Good. As I mentioned, I hope that you have, majority of you have made that checklist in order to mark the things that you have studied. And the checklist එක හදාගෙන ඔයගොල්ලෝ හැම සතියෙම මතක් කරගන්න දේවල් you can put a tick in front of the subtopic. ඔන්න මම අද Ohm's law පාඩම් කළා. Right, I studied about transmission of liquid pressure, the applications, hydraulic jack, hydraulic brake system, ඊළඟට vehicle hoist, what is the theory behind. ඒ ටික මම මතක් කරගත්තා කියලා you can tick. හරිද? එහෙම කරගෙන යන්න for the rest of the 6 months also. I will give you plenty of questions. Right? දෙන වැඩ ටික හරියට කරලා checklist එක maintain කරන්න, revise the previous subject matter. So in the theory class today we will අපිට තියෙන්නේ we have to finish the excretory system and the heat lesson will also be finished today. හරිද? After finishing the heat lesson I am moving on to the 7th one, acids, bases and salts. Right, that is the plan for today. Okay then, and see you on next the 16th, no, on the 23rd of May. 30th of May will be a holiday because of Vesak Poya, right? Hari. Okay, see you on next week with the paper class, today with the theory class. Stay safe and have a nice time.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
teacher.
Bye, teacher.